Graig Show, September 11, 2018. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Retro Raw Nitro 19 years ago this week. Thank God change is coming. Right when I've hit my wall and I cannot take any more.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's the same old shit, but Eric Bischoff has been reassigned. First show without him. Kevin Sullivan, Kevin Nash, Dusty Rhodes are in charge. They're only there for a while because Vince Russo is coming in. He's gonna steer this ship right to the fucking iceberg.
He's gonna do shows much like the Raw we watched tonight.
Oh no, way worse. The Raw we had tonight had Vince McMahon and Steve Austin in the main event. So that saved that show.
You found a silver lining.
Yeah, that show fucking was terrible until Steve Austin and Vince McMahon came out at the end of the show. Nitro was actually okay.
In a vacuum, this would have been an okay wrestling show, but it felt like an okay wrestling show I have seen 500 times.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't much care for Raw.
I don't know if I'd go for pretty good, but it was definitely better than Raw.
It just Raw is just totally random, chaotic, crazy shit. None of it makes any sense. Nitro is just a wrestling show where no one ever does anything. The main eventers stay the main eventers. The comedy guys stay the comedy guys. The middle of the pack is the middle of the pack. Yeah, and nothing ever changes.
And Ric Flair comes and goes.
Ric Flair comes and goes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
I feel like I like the Benoit Rick Steiner matches, but I feel like I've seen 8 of them this year.
Well, you have not. But we did see one exactly a week ago. And hey, this one was better. The first hour of Nitro was good. The third hour of Nitro was good.
Really?
The second hour was bad.
That's kind of why I saw it.
I thought it was one match the first hour.
There was one match in the first hour, but
It was good.
it was a good match.
All right.
Well, let's just go through it, Vinny.
This Nitro then?
Sadly, yes. I actually want to change everything again, but it is Raw. It is Raw. Yeah, it's supposed to be Raw, you idiot. Now you got me all messed up. You jackass.
I will ask every week until the end of time.
Just remember that Raw goes first.
I just told you, I will not remember.
Remember last week when I said you could be trained? I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you were a fool.
Yeah, he was a real fool.
Should I write? Do you have a Sharpie you can write it on the desk Raw first?
No, but there should be some sort of memory game. Vinny, just think that when we do the show, we don't do any planning. We go into it raw. That's how you learn.
Clever mnemonic device.
Exactly.
Is that the right word? Pneumatic
I don't
device.
remember.
Pneumatic is air powered.
It's not a then.
No.
Mnemonic?
I think that's the word.
There you go.
That's something that helps you remember.
None of us can fucking remember the word that helps us remember. Can we just get going on Raw?
Retro Raw number 29, September 13th, 1999. God, I hated the start of this show.
Oh, you want me to start?
No, I want to go, actually.
Okay, you go first and I'm going to read exactly what I wrote.
This all happened within like 30 seconds. Taker, Big Show, Viscera, and Mideon are all mumbling softly in a hallway. Kane is in a room pacing back and forth. Mankind's walking around looking for something. Rock is walking around just looking cool. Does dude just tell Linda McMahon not to go anywhere, but she says she has family business. A bunch of cop cars arrive. Hunter and China get out. I think the story is everyone wants to kill Hunter.
That is the story, Vinny, and you did a poor job because
Thank you, Brian.
You gave too many details. By giving so many details, you didn't express to the viewers how fucking boring and repetitive this was. So allow me. Taker and Show have a meeting backstage. They mumble something I cannot hear. Kane is hanging out backstage. Mick Foley is hanging out backstage. Rock is hanging around backstage. Linda is hanging around backstage. These are all separate cuts to show other people hanging around backstage. They're not all hanging out backstage together.
No. They have 19 cameras back there.
So the Stooges are
Show people doing nothing.
telling Linda not to go out there. She says, I must take care of family business. These cops show up. They're hanging out backstage. And yes, they're all looking for Hunter, who shows up with a police backup. And by the way, this is only about 1 minute. The first 10 minutes of this show was this same shit over and over again.
Pretty much.
With the exception of Linda doing a horribly wooden promo in the middle of it.
What? I'm just kidding. So it was a horrible way to start the show, and then a horrible way to continue the show as Linda came out for a promo. So the future administrator of the Small Business Administration of America is out there talking about how a bunch of dudes deserve, quote, a title shot at Triple H. Goes on for a while, because a five-way tonight, a five-way match with the winner getting a title shot at Unforgiven. That sounds important. That sounds like something where the result of that's going to matter heavily.
Absolutely.
She asks who is going to be champion come Unforgiven time. My most unfavorite holiday season. She says there's one man due contractually for a title rematch, and if he shows up, he'll get a title shot. I thought, the way she was wording it, she says, if he shows up, he'll get a title shot, which I thought was a clever way of teasing he would be there and not actually promising and thus not delivering.
We need information here from Rob. He's been beckoning to me.
I'm sorry to disrupt.
Yes.
Vinny was close. It's mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
Yes. Mnemonic is of the lungs or relating to pneumonia. So it is a word, just not the right word.
Okay, that's a win. That's close enough. Yeah, Rob was beckoning to me for like 5 straight minutes, and I thought there was like something wrong with the show. I thought he was texting me. And
Well,
I didn't get any text from
there was. I got the word wrong.
Yeah.
It's fixed now. So sorry.
Yeah, well, we got that handled, thank God.
Taker and Big Show. First Hunter comes out, beats up the Stooges.
By the way, Linda was worse than Dasha.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
No, she's horrible, man.
Oh my God, is
She's
that...
an absolutely wretched public speaker, and always has been and always will be. Hunter comes out, beats up the Stooges.
Linda stayed there like a statue.
Yes.
Except, at one point she goes,
Yeah.
she shook her
You
finger
were smiling. There's too much
I am
humanity.
I'm sorry. You know who she looked like?
She looks like a... I've always thought that. Go ahead.
Probably not very nice, but
That's why I was...
she totally looked like Sam the Eagle on this show.
I was gonna say... Not that specific one. She looks like a Muppet bird.
Sam the Eagle!
She doesn't have this sternness. If there's a happy version,
She didn't have the sternness? Are you kidding me?
not a Sam.
Well, I mean, she just had one look on her face, like a puppet.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
She is a marionette.
Yeah.
So Taker and Big Show come out and rock Mankind and King's Pyro, and everyone starts brawling. The only good thing in the first 20 minutes of the show is Rock and Taker brawling in their sunglasses, and neither of them came off. So Rock and Mankind clear the ring. Rock's music plays.
Man. And then we had another, just like the beginning of the show. The cops are trying to hold everybody back. Kane is coming out. Rock and Mankind send Show and Taker packing. This is all in that segment.
Yeah.
Just one thing after another.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes of the show was the most overbooked 10 minutes in wrestling history.
It may have been.
Now keep in mind, they are all vying for a shot at the WWF World Championship.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Heavy stakes involved. On SmackDown, Jeff Jarrett broke a guitar over the fabulous Moolah's head and put Mae Young in a figure 4.
Do you know how much I'm going to hate from here till
Jarrett leaves.
No, not just the storyline, but on SmackDown.
Oh, I see.
Oh my God.
Hey, at least they showed it.
They did show it. But man, this is brutal.
So, Jarrett issues an open challenge to any woman tonight, says he hopes China accepts.
He ranted about broads bitching and challenged any woman tonight if they had the genitalia.
Yeah.
I guess he couldn't think of the name of any female genitalia in particular, and so he just
Well, not that you say on TV.
blanket term. You can't say vagina on television. I'm pretty sure it's okay.
I think that one's clear.
Because of ovaries, I suppose.
Sure.
Shane McMahon arrived.
Yes.
Cole interviews Rock and Mankind.
Yes. Another segment.
Yeah, here it is.
The 40th segment in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We're 12 minutes into the show.
Yes. See, Rock runs down everybody, including Mankind, and walks out. And Mankind, he imitates Rock, but for comedy purposes, he screws it up and says it's up to Rock to kick my ass. What? That's true. All right. So Jarrett, whose whole gimmick is that he hates women and likes to beat them up, comes out with Deborah and Miss Kitty by his side, and they just smile.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so at this point in the show, these are not segments, but 17 different things have happened so far.
Yeah.
We're 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
Oh,
He runs down women, says men are the dominant species.
yeah, Kitty and Deborah just standing there smiling.
Luna Vachon comes bouncing down the ramp.
She was terrible in this match. Wasn't much of a match, but
It wasn't just this match.
she was terrible.
So Jarrett beats the absolute hell out of her. Ivory runs down, grabs the guitar, hits Luna with it. This makes Luna the winner by DQ.
King is baffled. And why wouldn't he be?
I was saying,
Why did Ivory attack the woman who was wrestling? It was never explained.
I don't know.
It was just a swerve.
Here.
I'm sure it'll all be wrapped up in a nice little bow by the end of the week.
No.
And so Jarrett is outraged that he has lost. He starts to bully and manhandle Lillian, who just got hired a few weeks ago. Shoves her
Yeah,
down.
it didn't take her long to get involved in storylines.
Do you know what this was? Remember when Scott Hudson started doing Nitro just so Rick Steiner could beat him up?
Yes.
I think they hired Lillian just so Jeff Jarrett could beat up a woman ring announcer.
No, because once they beat up Hudson, he was gone. Lillian's still around.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So
he just had to beat up a woman.
he beat us up. Lillian puts her in the figure 4. There's that. Much to my surprise, Steve Austin showed up. He's
Yeah.
there. Red Rooster interviewed China.
Terry Taylor is an interview guy. He's also as bad as Dasha. I feel bad for all the bad things I've said about Dasha. I thought that she was like, you know, historically bad. No, she's just,
Another one off the treadmill.
oh my God,
Another
Terry
one off
Taylor
the
was so
assembly line.
bad. He actually could talk to a degree.
He had a
He
career.
could not conduct an interview.
Yeah.
China, do you think you can win the title at the Unforgiven pay-per-view? No.
So China's not impressed by Jarrett beating up old hags and a ring announcer. She vows to win the IC title at Unforgiven and hammer a message to Steve Austin later. So in one sentence, she's both a babyface and a heel.
Yes.
It's almost like the guy writing this show hates women.
Well, that too.
That's exactly what this show was. Even China, who is a woman,
Yes.
is referring to the other women as old hags.
Yeah.
Luna was a babyface the last time we saw her.
I
I guess China's a heel.
She's talking about Moolah
Yeah.
May.
Yeah, China's a heel.
Like I said, a face when she's fighting Jeff Jarrett.
I guess, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I said, in one sentence, she is both. Howard Finkel's there to do ring announcing.
Thank God.
Yep.
For the moment.
He says, our next contest will be strap match. At this point, out comes Devon Dudley, as the graphic says, with Ba Ray.
Yeah.
Like he's a sheep.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Ray, but Ba.
So Devon, Bubba does his stuttering redneck promo. I realize it got him over in ECW, but knowing how great he can be as a promo is such a waste. Devon challenges Farouk to a strap match, even though Howard Finkel had already announced it was a strap match. They did a strap match. They beat each other up for a few minutes. Bubba smashes Farouk with a chair and Devon pins him.
Smashed him. He just gave him a giant, hard, unprotected chair shot to the head.
Yeah, a lot of those on this show, actually.
Vinny's so over.
I'm over the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
I'm over both these shows and everyone involved. Oh, Bradshaw gets a chair and clears the ring. Taker and Big Show do a promo.
Oh my God. Do you remember the promo about the desert
I do.
that the Undertaker cut? And like everybody they remembered it because like it was so weird. Dude, that's all of his fucking promos.
I think I figured it out. He was the dead man forever. He was either a zombie or Satan or some hilariously cartoonish
Yes.
thing. He's trying to find a new character and he's failing.
Is he ever? This promo was so bad that I was begging for him to just die again. So he could talk about druids
And
and
stealing
the
souls.
fucking grave and stealing souls. He cut a promo like Hawk wrote it for him.
Yeah, actually.
Wow. Just all this bullshit about
And there's references to Pulp Fiction,
Ah.
references to the Crocodile Hunter, references to the leopard pants on the girl in the front row, which we never saw. I don't know if he was making that up or not.
I presume he was making it up. This was bad.
Speaking of, Jim Ross calls out the British Bulldog.
Yeah, first he comes in and he kicks out Howard Finkel. Finkel's trying desperately to just be a ring announcer.
Yeah.
They got to get his ass out of there
And they make
because he's too old.
Make him look like a geek.
Yes.
Yeah, the temerity to get old and lose his hair.
He had no hair in the 70s.
So I did. So Jim Ross calls out the British Bulldog, a giant man who somehow still found an oversized suit. God-awful music. Probably a network edit, I don't know. So, since we last watched Raw, between SmackDown and Heat and who knows what else, Davey Boy Smith has returned. He won the hardcore title from the Big Boss Man, and then gave it to Al Snow.
Gave it to him.
And yes, gave it to Al Snow.
And do you want to know why he gave it to him?
Why is that, Brian?
Because he says Al Snow deserved it.
Liar! Al Snow doesn't deserve anything.
That's what he said.
I know that's what he said.
I'll get to Al Snow, fear not. Actually, I'll get to him right now.
Oh, he's a liar.
First off, for those of you that don't remember, the whole Montreal screw job happened. He went to WCW. He did jack shit.
Fell in a trap door.
Fell in a door, almost died. Now he has recovered and returned here to WWE, where he is feuding with the Big Boss Man. He has vowed to become the WWF champion. Big Boss Man interrupted and said, and I quote, "Well, that's not going to happen, dumbass."
That's so hard at that. It's just so dismissive.
So Al Snow comes out, barking, and he proceeds to challenge Davey Boy Smith, or I'm sorry, Big Boss Man.
Actually, he challenged Ray.
Ray, yes, he kept calling him Ray. Hey, Ray. Ray? I challenge you, Ray, to a match. He wants to take the cage, put the Hell in a Cell around it, put fucking dogs in the cage, and have a match. The infamous Kennel from Hell match.
Yep.
Is coming up.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you something, Vinny. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Somebody called Observer Live the other day. They said, "What do you find more appalling? The fact that Daniel Bryan has never in his career had a 5-star match." Keep in mind, Sid has had a 5-star match.
Okay.
Do you find it more appalling that Daniel Bryan has never had a 5-star match, or that Sid won worst on promos in 1999? When I heard that fact, first off, I was fucking appalled that anybody could vote for Sid for worst promos in 1999. It was only a few, 4 weeks ago that Sid did that one promo in Nitro that we watched over and over because it was so good? How do you win worst on promos if you have a promo that good in 1999? And then what really got to me is, how did Al Snow not win?
That's a good question.
How in the fuck did Al Snow not win worst on promos, and these fuckers who voted in the Observer Awards in 1999 gave it to fucking Sid? This is bullshit. This promo fucking sucked. Every promo he's done in 1999 has sucked. Every angle he's done has sucked.
It's amazing.
And I'm pretty sure every match he's done has sucked.
His consistency at being bottom of the barrel is outstanding.
It really is.
You would think by sheer random chance he'd have an okay match once in a while.
Nope.
Or a promo that was fine.
No.
But no, everything sucks.
He barked, he called him Ray, he challenged him to the worst match of 1999. Holy fuck. And he still didn't win worst on interviews. They gave it to Sid.
He warned Boss Man, the Rottweilers came out, and Al Snow warned the Big Boss Man, "These bitches are in heat." So are the female Rottweilers going to rape Ray Taylor? Is that what's going to happen here?
Yeah, that's what he's threatening, Vinny. Hello?
So
That's exactly what he's threatening.
Davey Boy jumped Boss Man from behind like an asshole and got his ass kicked like a geek.
If you buy this pay-per-view, Vinny, these dogs may fuck Al Snow.
Wow.
No, Boss Man.
Either way, frankly, neither one's going to get my money.
One way or the other. I mean,
Someone has to lose this, Craig. These are the steps.
Jesus Christ,
That's
this
the way I
show
remember it going down, if you will.
sucks. This show sucks.
Actually, as I recall, they fucked each other.
That's true.
So,
Who? What?
in the Kennel from Hell,
Yeah, the dogs.
the dogs just like did
Dogs
doggy
made-
things.
They made nice.
They were friendly to each other, and then they made a terrible mess.
Yeah.
You ever watch it with the Mick Foley and Kevin Kelly commentary?
Are you kidding me? Why would I ever watch that?
Because it's
mess
funny.
again? No.
Because they know how much it sucks. They pointed out. Anyway, this is all fucking horrendous. Just terrible. Cole interviews the Posse and Terry.
Oh my God, I cannot believe what's going on in the show.
Joey Abs cuts a promo on Test, calls Steph a tramp.
Joey Abs is Stephanie's ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Now tonight he's gonna kick Test's ass.
You sound skeptical.
I'm just telling you what happened here.
He warns Terry to stay in the truck where it's safe. EMTs go running backstage and find Shane McMahon laid out.
Shane McMahon has been laid
I
out
forgot about this until I just read this
backstage. Yes.
Shane McMahon required medical attention due to mysterious but apparently severe injuries.
Yes.
Fink is out there to ring announcing.
Another referee, or another announcer.
Tony Chimmel comes out and gets booed because he's not Finkel. He ejects Finkel and gets booed more because Howard Finkel is awesome and everyone knows it except the dipshits in charge of this company.
Because 19 years ago, they were still fighting with their fans.
Jesus. Yes!
Kind of like they are now.
God.
That's my point, Craig.
Yeah. Joey Abs versus Test.
I believe Chimmel and Fink end up having a
No.
tuxedo match.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing they would have done back then.
Sure. Of course.
Abs and Test. They traded power moves for a minute. Test fought off interference and hit a Dr. Bomb for the win.
Okay.
So the posse jumps Test. He needs help. Who should come sprinting down the ramp?
Don't even say it, Vinny. I'll quit the show. I'm gonna quit the show.
It might have been Shane McMahon.
Fuck you.
Shane McMahon.
Shane fucking McMahon came out to
Christ.
save Test?
It's been 10 minutes.
What?
Well, that too.
No, what do you mean it's been 10 minutes?
Well,
Fuck that.
they-
Why is he helping Test? Test is gonna marry his sister.
Because Joey Abs called Steph a tramp.
Fuck. This is
And they
such
Test beat him in a match and Shane's honoring the match stipulation.
a load of bullshit.
It's horrible.
It did not make a lick of sense.
No.
But I will say one thing. Earlier I said that the only good thing on this show was Vince McMahon and Steve Austin. I am begging you, Vinny, I know you make a lot of animated GIFs. Anybody listening to this right now, please make me an animated GIF of Shane McMahon running down that fucking ramp. I was behind schedule. I still rewound that at least 5 times. It's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen. Please gift this for me.
It's like there's panic as he's flailing down to the ring.
It's like, you know when you go to the fair and they got those big bubbles that you can get in and get in the water?
Okay.
Like the hamster balls?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It's like he's in one running down the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not.
I just had a great idea for a gimmick.
Bumble boy.
Oh boy. Just get one of them.
Well, Vinny,
Oh no, he's bringing out the thumbtacks. Anyway.
we went to the fair and Paisley was really angry about something. She's 2. She's crying, all angry. I turn her around and I just pointed her to these kids in those bubbles. She was howling at these stupid kids. They're all going upside down on their heads. They're running each other over. She thought this was so funny how dumb they were.
Those are people's children, Brian.
Just telling you.
So how much was the ride?
She didn't go on it. Too little.
I was talking about you.
I went on all the rides.
Triple H versus Steve Austin. Both guys come out in street clothes. Hunter says there's a warrant for Austin's arrest, sends the cops out to get him. They cuff him. Hunter begins to punch him with his fists.
I was so mad.
And the cops say, hey, stop.
I was so mad because on SmackDown, Austin tried to kill Triple H by ramming into him with an ambulance or whatever, right?
Sure,
whatever.
Semi into an ambulance. He tried to kill him.
Honestly, I am over these shows. Hunter made some reference to some vehicular
Okay,
assault. I had no idea what
sure,
you're talking
Steve
about. I don't
Austin
care.
rammed into his vehicle, tried to kill him.
Okay.
All right. So fine. Austin should be arrested for that. I was like, finally a fucking storyline that makes sense.
Until.
They go in there, they cuff the guy, they're about to arrest him for this, and fucking Triple H has to start punching the guy. And the cops are just like, dude, you can't do that. And they let him go, and they keep arresting Steve Austin. I was so angry. Then Linda's on the phone with somebody, and Austin, Hunter grabs her phone and tosses it to the ground. He knows he's in trouble.
Godfather versus Chaz.
Oh, here we go again.
So, Godfather, Chaz on Heat, politely, maturely,
Yes.
announced his relationship with Mariana was over.
It's all over.
Yes.
They've agreed to go their separate ways.
Yes. Godfather says, man, you're very sad. You're too sad for my women. Let's just have an old-fashioned wrestling match. And they shook hands. So They're having an old-fashioned wrestling match when Mariana comes out. She's got sunglasses on, and she goes to take her sunglasses off, and the Godfather blocks the camera.
Oops.
All we see is orange. So the story obviously is she has a black eye.
I'll read her lines.
Please.
Why? Why? Chaz, why? Just tell me why.
Tell me why.
No, Vinny.
So, yeah, now Godfather is now a chivalrous gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot tolerate women being treated as objects.
He's a very respectful pimp.
I guess so.
He doesn't beat his hoes.
He certainly does not.
He found out this woman had a black eye. He's got to kick this Chaz's ass.
He beats the fuck out of Chaz, pins him with a DVD, and he gets up, he's all smiles.
Yep.
He's just over it.
Hey, he solved that problem.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Nothing more to discuss.
Now this
Horrible!
This Chaz was a headbanger.
Yeah.
And then they put him in a pair of boxer shorts and expected him to go get over. And then they made it the storyline that he hit his wife.
No, actually, Craig, he was a headbanger.
Okay.
Then he was in an incestuous relationship with his mother, and they
Oh,
were
I forgot.
cosplaying Leave It to Beaver.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Then he was a regular guy in boxer shorts.
Sure.
Now he's a woman beater.
Actually, before all of that, he was a nun.
You're right. God damn it. It's a hell of a career.
The Stooges, so...
What a resume.
And the end of the story is he still does indie dates to this day.
He was on SmackDown last year.
That's right. That's right.
Stooges tell Lena to go to a hotel.
She won't go.
Apparently,
My family can't run from anyone. I'm staying.
Too much. Too much.
apparently on SmackDown, X-Pac dumped Kane, says, I'm holding you back. This is now a junior high love story.
Yeah.
A cage is lowered. Chris Jericho comes out. He runs down Ken Shamrock. Says he's going to bring in a submission shoot fighter and prove what a bad mamma jamma he is, and introduces Gotch Gracie.
The legendary master of disaster, the sultan of shoot fighting, the legendary Gotch Gracie. A black guy in a mask.
With a shirt that reads Gotch.
Yeah.
There's one person who ever watched the show who thought this segment was funny, and it's Vincent Verhey.
Really?
I laughed at Gotch Gracie. I laughed at Jericho putting him in holds and running him down to the mic at the same time.
So you're the guy.
I am the guy.
This
No,
was horrible.
this died a complete death.
Oh, did it ever? You know what this was, though? I got to give the guy credit. He was ahead of his time. This was a 2018 Raw segment in the third hour.
Basically.
Here in 1999.
Yeah.
They're fucking so dead for this, and he just barrels on through. I'm gonna get this over.
He's a pro.
So eventually he wins with the Walls of Jericho. Shamrock runs
Don't have
out.
a name yet.
Yeah, Shamrock runs out all pissed, but then Gotch Gracie jumps him. They double team him. It's a trap! Gotch unmasks. It's Mr. Hughes.
By the way, Vinny, speaking of masked men, Mr. Hughes, do you remember on Sunday we were watching NWA,
The Big Green Machine and
Big Green Machine?
El Negro.
I learned a fact today. Do you know who the Big Green Machine was?
Mr. Hughes?
No.
That would be news.
He was Bugsy McGraw.
Wow. Really?
Yep. And my obvious question was, why wasn't he Bugsy McGraw? Why was he the Big Green Machine?
Great question.
So apparently what happened was he got some sort of shoot job
Jeez.
where he had to be in disguise doing these shows.
Awesome.
So he was the Big Green Machine.
Hey!
Hey, I gotta say it was an improvement over the Bugsy McGraw that he was being earlier when we
Yes.
were watching those shows.
Yes. D-Lo gives Godfather some cash backstage. Jericho and Hughes do a backstage promo. Jericho did a backstage promo. Says, this is Mr. Huge. He is there to protect Shamrock from me.
Did you mention, by the way, before that we had Kane is walking, Mankind is walking, Rock is walking,
no.
D-Lo is paying off Godfather, and then Jericho does a promo with Gotch Gracie.
I can't keep up with all the walkings.
Okay.
All right. A 5-way match with some of the biggest stars in the company, with the winner getting a world championship title shot on pay-per-view.
They
Yes.
called this a free-for-all.
Free for all.
Was it ever?
The Undertaker versus The Big Show versus The Rock versus Mankind versus Kane. So, 3 guys come out and start brawling. The match starts. There's a match going on. 2 guys aren't even there yet. Then Rock comes out. Then Kane comes out. So everyone's just doing this horrible brawl. It's no good at all. And Taker turns, and he looks at the referee, the man who will count 1, 2, 3, and declare a winner in this match and declare that man to be the top contender to the world title.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Taker punches him.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Brian, why?
Fuck if I know, dude. You're asking me?
This was a no-holds-barred, free-for-all. And he punched out the only person
Who could give him what he...
count the
The
pin.
only person who could give him what he wanted.
Hey,
The title shot in Revenge of Hunter.
let's add they sent in three more referees.
Now, and more referees in the
Right.
ring. Undertaker, at least, as I said, has been Satan and is an evil person. So at least as a fact, an evil person did something evil. It's stupid, but it is evil. Then Kane punches one.
Yeah.
The puppy dog he's been for this past 6 months. He just starts punching referees now.
Yep.
I was so done with the show. I hit the timer. I think it's got to be done. They're going to finish it.
No, there was
20
like 20
fucking minutes
left.
ago. Ugh.
Tony Gurria's out there. Sergeant Slaughter's out there. Earl Hebner's out there. He just leaves.
So everyone's dead. There's this,
Yep.
this bodies are stacked up like cordwood. Earl Hebner runs, surveys the scene, turns his back, and runs back up the ramp. This whole fucking thing was done for one stupid sight gag in the middle of a 5-way match to crown a top contender for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, it's a sight gag. It's a sight gag, Vinny, but they're also building something up with these referees, which I can't even remember what it is. It was something, I vaguely remember this. There was something going on in real sports, like in the
There was
NFL.
a referee strike in.
There was something like that.
Couple.
This was something that related to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Crash Holly's there, Godfather's there, Prince Albert's
All
there.
these geeks are not to die.
Fucking Stevie Richards dressed up like Christian. What the fuck was that? Seriously.
I wondered, why does Christian have brown hair?
Yes.
And he's the ring, and he chokes them, and he leaves, and someone says, oh, there's Stevie Richards. So
What?
I almost rebound,
I didn't.
but
Also, to get him even more over, Chaz ran down and got rock bottomed.
Yeah.
and then they just go to break.
Yeah, it just ended. The show's bad.
The 5-way top contender world championship match ended without a finish.
Yeah.
Because all the referees were deceased.
That's exactly what happened. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
I want you to give me back the 2 hours of my life.
I can't, Vinny.
Wow.
Think about all the hours of my life I want back. I watch way more of this than you do. I watch Raw every Monday.
It's not this bad.
The referees yell at Earl to do
It
something.
can't be this bad.
No.
Some of them are. Not this past month.
Consistently, like all 3 hours.
There have been a few shows that have been.
The refs
Dreadful.
are pleading with Earl Hebner to do something to keep them safe.
He's the head referee.
All right. Val Venus, a crowd favorite. D'Lo Brown, a good guy, versus Steve Blackman, an evil assassin, and Mark Henry, who betrayed his friend D'Lo for women. Or
Yes.
something, I don't even know.
Yep.
Earl is reffing because he's the only one who can walk. So Mark Henry doesn't come out. So Steve Blackman, the cowardly heel, says, I shall fight these 2 men on my own.
Yep. 2-on-1.
And the 2 babyfaces say, we will kick your ass because there's 2 of us. And they beat him up, and they do this fisherman suplex frog splash combo for the win. Blackman gets up, walks out like nothing happened. Don't give a shit. And then it's time for GTV. And GTV shows that Mark Henry was in the back partying with the Godfather's women. And so the story is, not only did the babyfaces take advantage of their opportunity and fight a guy 2-on-1, it was their plan.
Yep.
They were so afraid of a fair fight that they went to a pimp, hired his prostitutes to distract one of their combatants so they could double team the other guy. These are the good guys.
Vinny, it's just a harmless rib.
Especially for Mark Henry. He was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
There was one winner in the show, was Mark Henry. A limousine arrives. Hunter's out for like the 80th time. How many times do we see his entrance in the show? So Hunter's coming out, his entrance, he's in street clothes. Schimmel says this is a world title match. Ross and Lawler have no idea what's going on. Hunter calls out Linda. He says Steve Austin was arrested. That means he has forfeited his title shot. You must agree to this. She would not agree to this. Hunter begins to manhandle her until a very angry Vincent McMahon storms out.
Let's not jump forward too far. He says, I need you to tell the world that Austin, after being arrested, has blown his chance. And he's now at the bottom of the ladder and he needs to work his way back up. being Linda. No. He says, I'm not asking. I'm telling you. She says, no. No. For some reason, she has to say it twice. I don't know why I found this. Like she malfunctioned. He says, you've gotta say it. She goes,
Somebody put
no.
water on her. Yeah.
No. I crack myself up doing it. She's so horrible. So finally, she's probably still going, no.
So out comes Vince. He says, I promise to stay out of this business, but this isn't business, this is personal.
Show has just broken me.
Now, this is the only time I saw any personality on Linda McMahon. When he fired up and started going into all Vince mode, there was a twinkle in her eye.
No.
Babe.
You saw it too, didn't you, Rob?
Yep. Babe.
She
Still
was
married, man.
She was into it.
Yes, she's put up with a lot of shit. She must like something. Anyway, they're about to fight.
He grabs the mic and says, I gave my word I'd never interfere in WWE business, but this isn't business, it's personal. So listen up, you son of a bitch!
And Linda bit her bottom lip.
And says, you're the WWE champion, but maybe you need a reminder about who gave you that opportunity. And then Austin's music hits.
I'm sorry, whose music hits?
Steve Austin.
Because last time we saw him, which wasn't that long ago,
Sure.
he was handcuffed and being taken away by police officers to prison.
Well, clearly Vince McMahon made a call.
Somebody made bail. So Austin runs out in street clothes. He's brawling with Hunter. There's a referee out there, and the bell rings, and I spent the next 10 minutes trying to figure out if this was a valid World Championship title match or not. No one knew!
Well, actually, no. The announcers did say, that's the bell. Actually, this I swear to God, this is what they said, okay?
Go ahead.
They said, the bell rang. I don't know if Austin heard it. He's in the middle of the goddamn ring. What do you mean you don't know if he heard it? So the storyline was supposed to be that he didn't hear it.
At one point, the announcer said this is a world title match, and then at another point, they said this is not a world title match.
Well, they clearly didn't know what the hell was going on. But I'll tell you what did happen. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the fucking geek of the week, disqualified himself in his own world title match.
Are we sure?
Maybe.
Yes.
Let me hang on here.
No, he disqualified himself, and he shoved down the referee.
That
who
did
then
happen.
later rang the bell.
Earl pulled the chair away. Austin decked him.
Yeah.
They brawled in the ramp. The bell rang.
Yes, disqualification.
There was no announcement.
It doesn't matter.
The bell rang once, and the bell rang later.
Yes, so this was a disqualification and or no contest, but Austin did not leave with the title.
So as the music plays, the cage is back down again for what the fuck ever. Lawler says, "I think Hunter is still champion," and that's how it went off the air. I think Hunter is still the world champion.
Hey, listen, Austin was great. This was everything we talk about every fucking week on this show. The moment Austin came out at the end of the show, it was like a totally different wrestling show.
Yep.
This was the real shit.
Well, it was.
And the fans reacted to it like he was the real deal. They reacted to Austin like he was the fucking champion of the world, even though he wasn't. They were totally into this. Completely unlike all of the other bullshit on the show. Which, by the way, goes to show you that what they said is true. Vince just let Vince Russo do whatever he wanted on the undercard, but he was in charge of that main event. And it's fucking glaringly obvious when you watch these shows. Thank God he is leaving.
Extra Attitude was 10 minutes of Austin drinking beer and stuttering Hunter.
Maybe I didn't watch it.
The finishes on this show,
Oh, my God.
I'm in such a hurry to get through this, I don't even care. Craig, if you want to hum something, or maybe
They're right here, dude.
he play the spoons. The finishes on this show were DQ in a minute due to guitar shot, pin after chair shot in a minute or two, clean pin, clean submission in a match that may have been a work, no finish in a 5-way match to name a top contender, clean pin in a de facto handicap match, no finish or DQ or whatever in what may or may not have been a world title match.
Yeah. What happened?
I'm not sure that was not the better show. Probably worse. Nitro's, yeah.
Dude, Nitro was 1,000 times better than that piece of
Probably.
shit. Are you kidding me?
I watched Nitro last.
The fuck show were you watching?
Bad bit about Nitro.
So you
I
were
drive it
tired,
over.
is what you're
I'm so fucking tired. Nitro number 208, September 13th, 1999. 7 minutes passed, nothing happened, and then Chris Benoit wrestled Dean Malenko.
Okay.
Rob is beckoning to us again. What's going on here, Rob?
I'm so sorry.
it's past the point now. I was just going to let you know, in case you were really interested, the whole referee thing. There was a mass resignation of Major League umpires in 1999.
See, there we go. I told you. Hey, point to the mic next time so I know you want to actually talk.
Okay.
You're just beckoning to me. All right, we all got it now?
Hey. I'm going to give him signal flags.
It's not even signal flags. Every now and then he just nods at me. Hey! Hey!
Brian nods back.
Oh, yeah, point to the mic.
How you doing? You're a very handsome man, Brian. I'm sorry.
I'm aware of that. That's why I need more clues. You want to talk.
That was Graig.
Yeah.
All right, we ready here?
As noted, 7 minutes of Nitro went by with absolutely jack all nothing happening.
Yep.
Chris Benoit versus Dean Malenko. They're buddies. The title shot on the line, allegedly. They start brawling on the floor, and Shane Douglas and Saturn break them up and say, no, no, no.
I can't believe Vince is already pissed off at this show for, like, the best thing on the show.
This was a great match.
This was a great match.
Well, it was
Way better than last
It
week.
was by the end.
Fans went nuts for the superplex
They,
spot.
they booed when they saw when Shane and Saturn made him stop brawling on the floor. The
Yeah,
fans booed.
sure.
And then 5 minutes later was a great wrestling match, and they cheered.
Yeah.
So that happened. They start doing near falls. Dean has a superplex, but Benoit turns into a cradle for the win. It's a very fun TV match.
Yeah, Dynamite Kid finish right there.
I don't know what I was thinking about saying Raw may have been the better show.
I don't know what you were talking about, dude. And by the way, they recapped the pay-per-view where Sting won the title and turned heel.
Okay, they did mention it?
Yep.
Yes, they
Okay.
did.
Harlem Heat won the titles for the 9th time.
Right.
All of that happened.
Mean Gene brings out Ric Flair for a promo.
Yeah, Bischoff's gone, Flair's back.
Amazing.
He says, I haven't watched this show in 10 weeks. I watched it last week, realized I need to come back.
Okay.
That is exactly what he said.
It's a good explanation.
He's not wrong.
No one has ever shot on wrestling shows more than Ric Flair in his promos in the late 90s.
Yes.
He just tells the truth.
Funny you decided to come back in the Carolinas.
Yeah. He laughs off all the stupid stuff he'd done on TV for the past 6 months. The heart attack, the institutions, all that crap.
Laughed it off.
Yep.
Never happened.
Well, it happened. He just doesn't care anymore.
It was funny.
Brags about his kids. Talks about Sting being the new world champion. Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game, is appalled that Sting would hit Hulk Hogan in the head with a baseball bat to win the world title.
But yeah, he's a despicable type. But he has a great respect for the young Stinger. Can't believe that he is moving to the dark side.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, that actually makes some sense. Sting and Lex come out. So when Gene called out Flair 10 minutes ago, Tony says, wait a minute. This isn't on our format. It's Ric Flair. So out comes Sting and Lex. And Flair's response is, hey, you need to read the format. It says Ric Flair in big letters.
10 minutes. That's what the format said. Ric Flair 10 minutes.
Ric Flair 10 minutes.
He wanted
yes.
his whole goddamn 10 minutes.
He wanted his time. Sting starts talking about how he and Flair go way, way back, and we are right up to the Clash in the retro NWA reviews. It's exactly what Sting's talking about here. It's amazing.
Yeah, Flair is too. He goes, I made you a millionaire. I made you famous.
Yeah.
I made you the most promising young star in the sport. I'm like, we're watching that this weekend.
Spoilers, dude. So Sting says Flair has repeatedly stabbed him in the back. Fact.
It is a fact.
But out of respect for all their battles, he's going to offer Flair a chance to leave peacefully and gracefully. So Ric Flair, he's fiery and defiant, and he stops and says, okay, you're right. And he starts to leave, he steps out of the ring, and he steps back he steps back to the mic and says, not!
He and Gene both said not.
For those of you who keep historical records and stats and that kind of thing, September 13th, 1999, the most uncool moment of Ric Flair's life. So everyone was just yammering on for a while about nothing.
It went on too long. Luger starts talking.
Yeah. Are you seeing those two facts are connected?
Yeah.
Eventually, Lex sucker punches Flair. They put him in the torture rack. They put him in the Scorpion. An hour goes by. Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart round to make the save. Hogan cuts a promo. Challenges them to a tag match. I know I've mentioned it before, but it makes me laugh every week. You've never seen a man so happy after being in the... He's had to sell tickets to fights for 20 years now. And finally, he's just allowed to say, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, he's wanted to the whole time, and now he can. And so literally, by the end of this, he's just pointing at the ref saying, we're gonna kick your ass! We're gonna kick your ass! We're gonna kick your ass! Over and over again.
He's been doing that for a few weeks now.
It has been a few weeks, but the novelty is not worn off.
No.
So, he went on it's after the commercial we see Sting and Lex.
But before you go on, if you go back 1 year, I think it was exactly a year ago, or a little over a year ago, that Luger beat Hogan for the title and then lost it back at Road Wild.
Yeah, right.
He has aged so much in the last... What happened to Lex Luger? He suddenly looks like a fucking old man out
The
there.
ravaging effects of time.
I have a couple of theories, but
I mean, there are a few, but man, it's like he just got so old all of a sudden.
So Sting and Lex got bored during this promo and went to the back. And they cut back there where they're watching it on a monitor. And Sting points out, so he's going to pray and then kick our ass?
right.
What a hypocrite. And Sting's exactly right.
Yes.
Lex says he didn't bring his gear.
And he doesn't have medical clearance, he says.
And the medical clearance. I had some technical issues in the show as well. Another reason I'm in a crappy mood. So I missed the medical issues part until they talked about it later. Clips of the Hogan match from the pay-per-view. There was a bat, there was DDP, there was Sid. Sting won. Berlin and his crew showed up.
So on the board, somebody mentioned that Berlin isn't around long because of Columbine.
Right.
That's actually not true. No, Columbine was in
Before this,
April.
yeah.
Yes. They started vignettes, and then Columbine occurred. So they killed the vignettes. They axed the vignettes. And then, months later, they brought him in. And I don't know why he leaves a second time. He's only here for like a few months. And That's it.
I think the build ended up being longer than his actual tenure.
Yes.
So,
Kind of like Emelina.
so at exactly this point in the show, I texted you guys to let you know I was running behind and would be late. And then I hit play again. Out comes Ricky Rackman. Made us some time right away.
I'd love to recap this, Vinny. You should
Have
have
at
watched
it.
it.
Have
All right.
at it.
So first he comes out. The show's off the rails by this point, by the way.
Yeah, first hour.
Yeah. I thought the first hour was better than it was. So he says, we got a video package for one of our contestants here tonight. Allow me to introduce you to Zuli.
Girl from last week.
Fucking last week!
Yep.
Why are we watching this again?
Who knows?
Then he says, now we've got a video for Allison. She's new. I have no idea, by the way, why you're supposed to care about this contest. And he says, Ashley Beck is next. Shows her video. She explains, I've been watching wrestling since the mid-'80s. Dusty Rhodes, the Four Horsemen. At least she's a fan. So they go back to the ramp. And it's Kimberly and, what's the other girl's name? Spice?
That was one of them.
Yeah.
There's Spice, Fire, Whisper,
I think it was Spice.
Charmel.
The skinny one with short hair.
Yeah, the real petite.
I like the short one. Short one's my favorite. Short hair one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Spice,
That's
right?
Spice?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, look it up while I explain this. So they're there, and Kimberly says, let me explain to y'all how to vote. Did you find out yet, Vinny?
We did.
Yeah, Spice?
That's Spice.
what I
Spice.
thought.
Spice is my favorite Nitro girl.
All right.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So she's explaining how to vote. And then Kimberly says, if you'd like to be a Nitro girl, you need to have personality, and you need to know how to move. And she's in the middle of explaining this, and Ricky Rackman grabs the mic and he says, but please, don't be ugly. No ugly chicks. And Kimberly rolls her eyes, and they cut away.
Job, Ricky.
Sounds awesome. Oh,
I am
my
not
God.
making that up.
Oh, Christ.
He's not wrong.
Craig.
Did you ever see an ugly Nitro girl?
JJ is on the phone. All women are beautiful, you jackass.
Understood. Some are better than others, though.
Finds out Luger not only has been cleared, he's been cleared for 3 weeks. Ugh.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going to keep going.
He's
Disco
looking at
Inferno
Nitro.
versus Eric Watts. Yeah, you want to try to get Eric Watts instead?
You distracted him with
I
Nitro.
want to get through this fucking thing here.
Eric Watts is out there in worse pants than Disco.
It's true.
He was terrible, but he was funny.
His disco dancing.
My Disco's dance.
I have a new respect for Disco Inferno after watching Eric Watts try to do his dance.
He did a goofy standing splash.
Did he think it would look cool?
Yeah.
Was he trying to look cool or was he trying to look funny?
He looked like a guy getting pushed off a diving board. Doing a splash.
He stands on one foot and just sticks his arms out like teeters and teeters
And falls on him.
and just falls on it.
Yeah.
Slowly. I don't know if it was supposed to be cool or not.
No, it wasn't.
So something weird happened with the crowd audio. I thought maybe they were chanting something obscene and had to censor it out. Then the camera zooms in on a sign. Zooms in on a sign
God.
that says, boring, where's Sid? Sid's watching backstage, just hanging out. They just barely show Disco hitting the chart buster for the win.
This was a worldwide fucking disaster. This segment right here. I cannot. To cut to a sign that says boring, where's Sid? I was like, oh my god. They weren't wrong. But like, if you know it's boring, why did you put it on television? Comes out.
Sid comes out, kills Disco, kills Watts, pins them both.
No, he pinned Watts.
You not pin Disco?
No, it's very important because Bobby could not figure out what was a win and what was just a move. A win is a pin. So he pinned Watts. He did not pin Disco.
So he put Disco over.
And then he cut a promo. But later he did powerbomb Disco and pinned him a second time. Or he powerbombed him a second time.
Who cares?
Vinny, this is very important for historical purposes. We need to know the right number of wins.
So Sid cuts a promo. He says, Mr. Heenan.
Yeah.
He accuses Mr. Heenan of stereotyping him as a big dumb guy.
Well,
If the shoe fits.
it's not a stereotype.
Side note, remember when Brett called him a big stupid dummy on Raw?
I do.
So he also talked about Mr. Hogan and Mr. Hart and then Billy Boy.
Yeah. No respect for Billy Boy.
Billy Boy, and I'm thinking, what issue does Sid have with Billy Kidman? Legit, I was confused until they talked about Bill Goldberg at the end. I said, oh, right.
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg, Billy Boy, got it. So he says, whether it is a battle of wits,
Wither?
Maybe making fun of me or Sid, I don't know. Okay.
Unless he said wither.
I think he said wither.
I'm making fun of both of you.
Whether it's a battle of wits or a physical battle, everyone comes unarmed.
It's not the worst promo of 1999. You understand? It's just not.
He puts the U.S. title over. He calls Goldberg trash.
I loved it.
Silver King and Smiley had a fun little match for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sid came out again and got booed. There was actually good wrestling going on, and the fans all booed. So they booed Sid. So he power bombs them both, pins them both. Not a DQ, mind you. Sid is the winner of this match twice.
And by the way, I want to say one thing about this. After he gets his pin, he goes to the announce booth, and he alerts the announcers in a very intimidating manner that he is now 84-0.
That's correct.
And they're like, yes, Mr. Sid, you're 84-0. Why didn't they do this on day one? It was weeks
It would have made more sense.
when they pretended that this was a real number. Like, if he would have come out on day one and said, listen, motherfuckers, okay, I'm 55-0 right now. If anyone would have opened their mouth, he would just chastise them and said, I'm 55-0, keep track. Then the whole thing would have made sense.
You're right.
Lord Steven Regal and Dave Taylor versus the Wyndham Brothers.
I was done with the show for a while.
Where's Sid?
Yeah. Who's that guy with the sign?
Nothing happening, going nowhere, heel teams. His Tate turns doing moves and cheating. No one cares. A four-way breaks out. Hennig clunks Regal with a cowbell and Barry pins him. What do you fucking do?
It was all right.
It's supposed to be Jerry Flynn and Prince Iaukea, but Goldberg comes out instead. He apologizes to Flynn for interrupting. Cuts a promo on Sid, and now everyone's cheering. Finally Goldberg has acknowledged him. Says he admires Sid's size and his strength, but he will not stand for his mouth. Now he's going to put a stop to all this. And he calls out Sid repeatedly. In the cut backstage, Sid very calmly says, this will happen when I say it happens. And he grabs his bags and he leaves. And then Flynn jumped Goldberg just so Billy Boy had an excuse to de-spear and jackhammer and make people happy.
What actually happened is Goldberg is facing away from the ring. He's yelling at Sid for being a coward and that sort of thing. And Jimmy Hart commands Jerry Flynn to get him. It's all Jimmy's fault. Boy, did Goldberg spear this fucker to death. He speared him in 2 pieces. Like poor Peach's leg.
Oh, dude.
Jackhammer.
Too soon.
Place went nuts for that.
Clips of Harlem Heat beating the Rednecks for the tag titles at the pay-per-view. And then Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs versus Harlem Heat for the tag team titles. He ran wild for a while, woke up the crowd, lots of energy.
Then they got the heat on Stevie.
Got the heat on Stevie
A
Ray.
big guy you can get no sympathy on.
Nope.
Crowd died.
The good news is it let Booker meet the hot tag, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's running around being great, and then the Rednecks attack for the DQ.
Cool match, bro.
My takeaway from the Monday Night Wars after going back and watching them from start to theoretically finish,
Is they sucked?
how did wrestling survive?
I don't know, actually.
Why are we not all talking about roller derby?
I have no idea. Well, that died too.
Should have come back. In all seriousness, thank God for the Insane Clown Posse.
The Insane
If
Clown
you haven't watched
Posse.
these shows and you think the Insane Clown Posse are like just good characters or wacky fun, especially Violent J, but also Shaggy Dope, they are some of the better wrestlers on the show in the summer of 1999.
Hey,
They're better than Lenny and Lodi.
I was just gonna say, if you're planning to say this match wasn't that good, think about this. They had this match with Lenny and Lodi, who have had nothing resembling a good match with anybody. Except, I guess Lenny had one like a couple weeks ago with somebody, but they're not that good. ICP had a perfectly fine tag team professional wrestling match with these guys. Even Shaggy looked pretty good.
Yeah. So a fan hits the ring, plays keep away with security. They finally
Tony
acknowledged him
Mamaluke.
as Tony Mamaluke. He has been a Lodi stalker.
He's a Lodi fanboy.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So they're chasing him backstage. They cut the cameras backstage to show security chasing him around. And Shivani says something like, "We gotta do something to put a stop to this." And he just says, "Take him out back and hang him."
He did suggest Tony Mamaluke be hanged.
Death by hanging.
Yeah.
It seems excessive to me.
Yeah, he's been going from town to town. They brought this up.
Yeah.
He's been going from town to town stalking Lodi.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
So Lenny and Lodi did all their gay comedy spots. Clowns get a big reaction for their comeback. And Lenny and Lodi try to rockerplex. Shaggy dodged. They bonked into each other.
Is that what happened?
I had to go back and watch it too. And then
I don't know what the fuck
I was
happened.
already supposed to be here by this time. I had to go back and watch this, figure it out.
They're going for this
So
deal.
Lenny has Shaggy over hitting a suplex.
Yes.
Lodi is supposed to hit him with a body press. Hit Shaggy with a body
Yes.
press. The theory is Shaggy will dodge.
How do you dodge when you're upside down in a fucking suplex?
They just slip out or escape.
He
or whatever.
didn't, though.
None of that happened. No.
No, it's Lodi came off the top and headbutted both guys.
And what I said is what was supposed to happen on paper. It didn't work out that way. So Shaggy pins Lenny. Lodi is standing there 3 feet away just watching. The ref counts 3. This is a total mess, but this is a fun mess.
I liked it.
Notice Vampiro did not get involved. He was sporting a big, huge shiner.
Yeah.
Got busted up the night before.
They put a camera on him, zoomed in on his face to the black eye, and he looks into the camera and points to the ring and says, "There's way more interesting stuff going on in there."
Yep. And then Shivani goes, now he's trying to be their director.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there is something better going on in the
He
ring.
was right.
Chris Benoit comes out for a promo and in a very uncomfortable moment begins to talk about the demons in his mind.
Yeah, last night was one of the worst nights of my life. Couldn't stop thinking all night long. All because I had you in the crossface. I know you tapped out. I watched it again. But you still won. I'm not here to cry. No shame in losing. Sometimes the call goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Congratulations on winning. But tonight I beat the greatest technical wrestler in WCW to earn a world title shot. So Sting, get your rear end out here. It was going so well until he called out Sting's rear end.
So Sting's and Rick Steiner came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Rick Steiner says, "Hey, I've got a title. If you want a title shot, I'll give you one right now." So it's Benoit and Steiner. Now, I did complain earlier about having seen this match a bunch of times. It's still good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The spot where the guy tries to leapfrog and Steiner power slams him
Yep.
never looks better than it did in this match.
I'll tell you what never looked better. He gave Chris Benoit, I think, the most awesome German suplex I've ever seen.
It's pretty amazing.
That didn't involve, like, dropping the guy right on top of his head.
Yeah.
He just, like, lifted him straight up in the air and then arched back. It was beautiful.
It was amazing. So Steiner complains about a slow count. He throws the ref out of the ring. Benoit hits a flash cradle. The ref dives in and counts 3. Benoit's the new TV champion. And then Rick Steiner pops up and beats Benoit's ass and beats up the referee some more. And Dean comes out and Steiner kicks Benoit right in front of Dean. Dean doesn't do anything. Steiner, in losing here, came off as a bigger, scarier guy than ever.
Yes.
And Ben was like, okay, you have a title, I guess, but you did not win.
No, he was not put over.
No, this did not help him.
He merely got his raise on a fluke.
A Revolution video package. And Eddie Guerrero and Perry Saturn. They did a lot of really cool stuff in this match.
Well, before the match starts, out come Rey Mysterio, Conan, and Kidman, the filthy animals,
Yes.
are now here. And there were a fair amount of rest holds in this match. But then it picked up at the end a lot.
There were highs and lows in this match. The lows were pretty low, but the highs were cool.
Yes.
The highlights of this match would have been awesome. So they counter a million things. Saturn hits a cradle for the win. And the two gangs face off afterwards, but nothing happens.
Two good matches in a row.
Berlin versus Buff Bagwell.
And we had another good match.
Nothing wrong with this at all.
I thought Berlin looked great out there. He's way better as a brooding heel than the dancing dildo he was for many years.
But then, don't we all?
He's lost a lot of size.
Yes?
And a lot of hair.
Yeah,
I thought he looked exactly the same size. He just lost his tan.
His physique is not nearly as good.
not even close.
So,
I think you guys are imagining things.
going back and forth a few minutes, and then the Wall hit Buff behind the ref.
Yeah,
back.
the Wall.
I don't know if they've named him that yet, but it's such a great name.
No, he was the Wall.
Was he okay?
Yeah, because when you hit the wall, there's no turning
Well,
back.
it's even worse. The Wall hits you.
Yeah.
He's still alive, by the way, the Wall. For some reason, I thought that he'd passed away.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I could have sworn he did.
that's what I thought too, but I believe he's still alive.
Was he Malice in TNA?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
Oh, man. I could have sworn I just looked this up today. Oh, no, he is dead. 2003.
Yeah.
And I see that he was alive. Oh, I see what happened.
A different Wall?
No, I looked at it wrong. Usually they say, like, born-death.
Okay.
This only had the date that he was born, so I presume that meant he was still alive.
I
The
see.
date of death is down below.
I see. Fall of Sting music video.
Oh, this was incredible. Let me tell you something. I was running a little bit behind. I watched this Bagwell Berlin match. I was Googling the Wall. I couldn't figure out why he was not dead. The Sting video package airs, and I start to fast forward through it.
No.
And honest to God, I fast forwarded all the way through it, and the guys started coming up for the main event, and I was like, I just gotta watch it. So I rewound it. I'm so happy that I did. They did a video package where what I thought was they're going to... Here's why I rewound it, okay? Because they've done a few of these before where they try to go back 4 years and tell the story of a person through all of the WCW bullshit, and it's so ridiculous how they try to tie everything together, right? The Kevin Nash Hulk Hogan one,
Yeah.
before they had their match. So I thought, I cannot wait to see them explain the story of Sting from 1995. They did not do that. Instead, this video package was all about how Sting had turned heel. And has he been a dick all along?
Yeah.
They went back.
They retconned the story.
They did. They showed all of the stuff that he did where, like, he was wrongly accused. And
They took that part out,
Yep.
but they just showed the part where he did the promo with his back.
Exactly.
Literally turning his back on the company.
Yep.
He tells the company to stick it.
Yep. They showed all of this stuff, and they basically said,
We should have known.
We should have known.
Yes.
At one point, the voiceover guy, he asked some question, and he goes, right? Just totally weird. This is bizarre. And then they do the whole video package, and literally the final line, which was so fucking ironic. The final line is, for this is a most trying time to have heroes in World Championship Wrestling. It's like it's fucking WWE in 2018.
You can say.
There are no fucking heroes. It's crazy.
Did you mention, by the way, that as part of this video package, they teased, we may even see the return of the bogus Sting.
Yeah. maybe the bogus Sting has been sent out by the real Sting. Like, fuck, I never thought of that before.
Sting's a master genius.
Sting beat his ass 80 times.
Diabolical monster.
Yeah.
And a patient man.
And patient man, this is a long con. This is a 4-year plan
This
he's
is
got.
a long, long fucking con. Goes back to 88.
I'll have a great match with Ric Flair and then screw him on Nitro 15 years later.
Yes, on a show that doesn't exist.
Oh, God. All right, Sting and Lex versus Hulk and Brett. My screen was all kinds of wacky and freezing and buffering.
Okay, I'll take over. What the fuck was this? You had... Okay, so we were coming off good matches, okay? We were coming off a Steiner-Benoit match, which people liked. Eddie Saturn, which people liked. Buff Berlin, which people liked. They bring out the tag teams of Lex Luger and Sting against Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. They ring that goddamn bell. Nobody cares. It's deathly silent. They've got... I don't even remember who was in the ring, but I can tell you by reading this. Sting tags in Lex Luger. Bret Hart tags in Hulk Hogan for the double fucking hot tag. Silence in the building.
They were tired.
They get in the ring. Hogan makes his comeback. He hits the big boot. Deathly silence in the building. Luger cuts him off. So finally, they start beating on Hogan, double teaming him. Now the fans start chanting for Hulk. I'm like, where were you fucking people 5 minutes ago when you didn't care? Fires up. There's a spot. Did you see this? You saw the whole match?
Sure.
There's a spot where Hulk Hogan fires up, and Sting cuts him off with a double leg takedown. I'll explain how this happens. Hulk is on his feet. Sting drops to both knees in front of him. He hugs one of Hogan's legs. Then he hugs both of his legs. Hulk Hogan, from a standing position, slowly sits down onto the ground, and they both fall sideways. I was fucking laughing so hard at this fucking spot. Finally, Hogan hits a double clothesline, makes hot tag. Brett runs wild, breaks down into a 4-way. DDP hits the ring. People are already throwing shit.
Yep.
Brett puts Sting in the sharpshooter. DDP tries to hit him. Hogan makes a save. Lex Luger then grabs a baseball bat. And he fucking swings this bat. And he hits Bret Hart right in the fucking eyeball.
Yep. Yeah, I did see that part,
I
actually.
rewound this 10 fucking times. Right in the fucking eyeball with this bat.
That show was
I
a
don't
wiffle
give a
bat.
shit if there was a wiffle bat.
Yep.
I don't care if this was a bat made out of foam. It could be a bat made out of air. He hit him in the fucking eyeball with this thing, and Brett's just like, fuck! Falls down on the ground, gets pinned. He's like this till the show goes off the air. I have no idea how he survived this shot. It was the most brutal baseball bat shot I've ever seen. And that was that. That was the end of the show. They gave him time. This was not your usual bullshit 1-minute main event. They got like 10 minutes.
And there was a finish.
And there was a finish.
There was a screwy one.
Yep, there was a finish.
You know, it's hard for people to care. Just last week, Brett was talking about how he wanted to fight Hulk Hogan. Luger's out there in his street clothes. Why would anybody care?
Well, they didn't.
Right.
So,
Touche.
that's your answer.
Okay.
Also, Brett was away for a long time. Then his brother passed away, and he was away for even more time. This is his first match back in like 6 months.
Yeah,
Threw it out there.
yeah. You look good.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure he looked good. The point is, advertise it.
You'd think.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
Promote it as a promotion.
Maybe could make some money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You gotta say the finishes on this show were.
The finishes on this show were clean pin, 2 pins in a singles match by a guy who was not in the match, pin after cowbell shot, DQ in a tag match, clean pin for a title change where the guy who lost came out looking better than the guy who won, clean pin after interference, pin after bat shot.
That was definitely better than Raw.
Way better than Raw. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're thinking.
I don't either.
I think Raw was so bad it ruined my whole day, honestly.
Yeah, that's happened to me many Tuesdays. I hate Tuesday.
I gotta do I gotta watch Raw, like on Thursday or Friday. So my Tuesdays are easier.
I see. I gotta watch it. Go downstairs on the way out and just ask my wife. Just say, "What's Brian's most hated day of the week?" She'll say Tuesday. It's my most hated day. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Back on Thursday with Granny. I'll be back tomorrow with Filthy Tom. We got a lot to get into, including another food review.